Listen to me. All that negative energy that you put in the air, take it out right now.
Carr across the middle finds Renfro. They get out of there, and the ball comes.
They got me down.
To me, when you look at it, it's just absolutely stacked.
Back up. Waller across.
Take a seat.
And it's intercepted. Picked off by Mullen.
The boy grows up.
Snap good, hold good, and victory in overtime for the Raiders.
Yo, what it do, Raider Nation for life, what it do? It's your boy Dirty Mind, chilling in the basement. Y'all know how we do, man. I know it's been a while, you know what I mean? I don't pop in a whole lot, but tonight I had to do a show, man. Tonight I had to, man. I had to. I'm tired. I'm so tired. But before we get into the show, man, 50 billion things on the face of the planet you could be doing. The fact that you allow me to grace your screen for any amount of time is greatly appreciated. I know sometimes people ask me, why does it look like I'm looking off camera? It's because my screen is over here. My camera is over here. I usually do a lot of looking at the screen because I like to interact with the chat. So forgive me if I don't keep the, my eyes forward, you know what I mean? But I am paying more attention to the chat than you think I am paying. So anyways, like I said, man, 50 billion things on the face of the planet you could be doing. You know what I mean? The fact that you allow me to grace your screen for any amount of time is greatly appreciated, man. More than I can verbally express. Pastor Raider, hey, blessings, man. Blessings to you, brother. Long time, yes, long time. I've grown up a lot. You know what I mean? Since the last time you may have seen me, bro, I've grown up a lot. But always appreciated the conversations and the chats that we had over at the channel where I first started being live at. But yo, I'm here now. I'm back now. I got my channel back. So all love and appreciation, man, to everybody. But man, I titled my show "Time to Stop Listening to Awful Media Takes" because of this, man. I will say this, and I mean this in the highest disrespectful form that you can that I could give you, bro. It's the highest disrespectful form, and I don't care how they feel about me after I say this, because look, don't none of them F with me anyway. You know what I mean? Don't none of them get down and rock with me anyway. So I'm gonna tell you, bro, a beat writer is the lowest form of writer you could possibly be for any media outlet, man. And I mean that in the highest disrespectful form of nature. Now, there are a few out there that I'll give my respect to, you know what I mean? Like Tayshawn, you know what I mean? I like Tayshawn. I used to kind of like Hondo, not so much no more. But Tayshawn is probably the only beat writer that I give some respect to, bro. Honestly. That's about the only one I'll give some respect to, bro. The rest of them, honestly, you think them dudes ever played any football in their life? You think they was ever good enough to be on somebody's pro team? Because I don't. I'm sorry. And a lot of our beat writers aren't even fans of our team, so they don't even want to see us do good anyway. So they just going to come up with some clickbait type shit. That's what they do. See, what you got to do is you got to click on these other articles that are attached to these beat writers by these names you don't know, because they're the names of people who actually do some real research. And I'm just being honest about that. You can look at it. They have been giving us trash takes time and time and time and time again. And we believe it. We ride with it. We be like, oh yeah, no, man. No, I'm tired of it, man. You know a beat writer doesn't have your best interest in art when they keep pushing the Aaron Rodgers narrative. When we as a fan base know that wouldn't work here. That's not going to work with the Raiders. It's just not. And I'm being honest about that, bro. It's the beat writers who are writing things like, oh, Shedeur Sanders is sliding because he didn't perform at the combine, because he didn't throw and because he didn't run. Well, Jaden Daniels didn't do that last year. He didn't run, he didn't throw, he didn't do anything. The boy over in Chicago, Caleb Williams. I didn't see him running and throwing at the combine. I just see Stroud running and throwing at the combine. I'm just saying this happens. Cam Ward didn't run and throw, but he's not a problem. But Shedeur is, right? And I think it's got a lot to do with the name. A lot of people don't like Deion. They don't like Coach Prime because Coach Prime was always flamboyant. They always felt like Prime felt like he was bigger than the game. And I've never seen or heard him ever say he was bigger than football. He said he was more than football, but didn't say he was bigger than football. See, there's a difference. When I say I'm more than YouTube, that means I got more going on outside of this camera lens. YouTube is not the depth of me. It's not my make break. It doesn't define me. That's not what YouTube does. My family defines me. So yes, I'm more than YouTube. And that's what Coach Prime meant when he said he was more than football. He's more than just Deion Sanders, number 21, prime time on the football field. He's a father. He's a coach. You know, he's a good man. He's a good analyst. He's more than just the man on the field. And in all honesty, I love the fact that they keep, because what Josh saying right there, I keep talking him down. Let him slide down to 6. And they're like, well, he's sliding because Jackson Dart had a good throw or Murrow had a good throw. I'm still not sold on Milrow. Please don't mention that guy, bro. He is a 3rd or 4th round draft pick. I don't care what you saw at the combine. It means nothing to me. Nothing at all. I already told y'all how I felt about the combine. That meant nothing to me. Nothing at all. And I don't see how, Critique, my guy, what's good with you, man? Blessings to you, brother. In fact, you know what I mean? If you up for it, man, come on up, man. I haven't worked with you in a while, you know what I mean, Brody? I'd love to get your take on this as well, if you up to it, if you want to, you know what I mean? Or whoever else got something to say, you know what I mean? Come on up. I'm right here, you know what I mean? It's all love. I'm always open. That's the one thing about my show. My show is always open to the public to come and say what it is you need to say, be it text, be it if you want to come and talk on camera, off camera, and just have your voice. Hey, by all means, pull up. Just be respectful, because I'm gonna give you the respect of being here and listening to you. Just be respectful, like I asked my chat to be respectful to whoever's on screen. Have your opinion, but Don't get irate with it. I don't see an issue with Shedeur. I don't. And I'll tell you why I feel like it's really got everything to do with the name. They're even throwing shade at Shiloh. They're even throwing shade at Shiloh. Oh, well, Shiloh wasn't invited to the combine. Okay, cool. Shiloh wasn't invited to the combine. So what? But did you see what Shiloh ran in the 40? Did you happen to see what Shiloh ran in the 40 since we're taking numbers into consideration? Had Shiloh been at the combine, he'd have been one of the faster DBs. So, I'm just like, look, stop listening to these people who have never played the game. Have never played the game. It is one thing to have a brilliant prediction. It's another thing to, oh, well, this is a fact. What makes you think Tom Brady wants Aaron Rodgers here? What makes you think that would even work? Because, for me, I just don't see it working. Charles Washington, my guy, what's good? J-Dog, what's good? Katigue, what's good? Dark, what's good? Anthony, salute. Blessings. Rafa, I saw you. What's good with you, man? Blessings. To me, I just don't see like how it's because he didn't do it. He didn't do a 40, or he didn't do a high jump, or he didn't do a bench press, or he didn't throw a ball to the wide receivers. Like, had he went out there and did that and didn't have a great showing at one section of that, it would be even bigger. You would hear even more noise. You know what I mean? And I don't find that to be fair. I just don't find that to be fair. So for whatever they're saying about Shedeur Sanders, I'm going to say the same thing about Cam Ward. Because he's doing the same thing, just holding interviews. He'll do everything else at his pro day. Just like quarterbacks before have done the same thing. It doesn't make sense to me. And I'll tell you the real reason why Shedeur is sliding to the number 6 spot. I'll tell you the exact real reason why Shedeur is sliding to the number 6 spot. It's not because all the other quarterbacks look like they're better than him. There's no way in the world you can tell me a Milroe has looked anything close to what a Shedeur is. And people are saying, oh, well, Jackson Dart. Okay, well, cool, Jackson Dart. But I'm not impressed. I'm not. I'm just not impressed. People are comparing him to Josh Allen. But what they don't understand is Josh Allen had a quarterback coach that made him into that. Josh Allen did not come into the NFL like that. That's not how he came into the NFL. Yes, he was a little bit more mobile in college. You know what I mean? But no. Go back and watch his first season. Go back and watch his second season. Go back and watch his third season. Watch how he develops into what he is now. He developed into that. And honestly, Jackson Dart is not close to that. He's not. I'm sorry. He's not close to that. And there's nothing you can show me that will make me change my mind. Because I've seen it with my eyes. I say this all the time. I really don't care about what you do at the college level, can you do it in the NFL? Everybody says, "Oh, this team is this player. Oh man, when you get to the NFL, he gonna be this. He gonna be the savior, and blah 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 blah." And he did this. Well, look, pump your brakes. Pump your brakes. Only person that could tell you, only thing that could tell you what a player is going to become is time. I can't tell you what a player is going to be. I can give you my opinion on what I think he could possibly be, but that's not guaranteed in stone. And I leave room for wiggle. I don't go hard at people like, oh, got it. Nah. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. You know, it's like, let me see, hold on. So there's no official time. There's no official time for Shiloh. But from all accounts of the people who were there, by all accounts of the people who were there, Shiloh would have been one of the top 10 fast times for DBs. There's no time. There's no time listed, but they're saying he would have been in the top 10 of fastest DBs out there. So, you know, I'm not going to give you a time that's not out there. I'm never going to lie to you, be like, oh, well, they're saying he ran a 4.3. That's not what I'm seeing. What I'm seeing is, by all accounts, for people who were there, his 40 time would have been in the top 10 for defensive backs. They didn't put a number where. They just said it would have been in the top 10. So, you know, you could take that for what it's worth. And there were some fast DBs out there. So if you putting them in the top 10 for defensive backs, I want to say it's going to be somewhere in the 4.3 flat to 4.42 range. I would say somewhere in the 4.3 flat to the 4.24 to the 4.42, you know. Yeah, 4.42. You know. Somewhere in that area. That's still a good fast time for me. I don't care what you say. As a safety, that's a damn good time. You know, it's pretty fast. And it's somebody that you could either get in the later rounds just because he wasn't invited to the combine. So you know, he does get a pro day. You know, he will be out there on a pro day with Travis Hunter, with his brother Shador, you know, and the wide receiver as well, you know. So, but the Colorado Buffaloes are having a nice little pro day for the NFL to come out and check out and see, you know. But you know, I really just really want to address the listening to these beat writers, man. You know, and if you really pay attention to them, you can see how they flip-flop a lot. You know what I mean? You can really see how they flip-flop a lot. I want the Giants to take Cam Ward. Look, the Giants are the only team above us that truly needs a quarterback. The rest of these teams, they need a offensive lineman, or they need a piece on defense. And for me, there's a lot of offensive linemen that can go. You know what I mean? There's a lot of offensive linemen that can go. There's a lot of defensive linemen that can go as well. There's a few wide receivers. I won't say it was a ton of wide receivers. There's a few wide receivers. But O-line, D-line, linebackers, corners, there's some dudes in those categories that can be taken before Shedeur at 6. So let him keep on sliding down to 6. Because that's where everybody's saying, like, that's where he's going to go at this point in time. You know, if he goes to a team in the first round, it'll be the Raiders. So let him keep sliding. That's fine with me. You know, I had somebody tell me, oh, well, you got to look at the numbers between Cam Ward, what he did in college, and what Shedeur's. Look, that's fine. In 5 seasons, Cam Ward threw 158 touchdowns. Right? To some good pieces. He's had some good wide receivers and running backs and things of that nature, right? But Shedeur has thrown 134 touchdowns in 4 seasons. And he's making players around him better. Maybe not Travis Hunter, but even though Travis Hunter will say that that Shedeur does make him better. You know, because he throws him open. You can't go for what these guys, you can't take what these guys say as the end all be all. Some of these guys aren't telling you what you technically really want to know or what it should be, because they don't want that to be in our favor. Like I said, beat writers aren't always fans of the teams they write for. They're just not. And you can see it. And some of them, and that's why I respect Hondo. Hondo says he's not a Raiders fan. He just writes for the Raiders, but he's not a Raiders fan. And I can respect him on that level. But some of these other dudes are not Raiders fans, and they don't have our best interests at heart. They want the fans to be continuously divided, because that's how they keep you coming in. That's how they keep you watching them. Because if everybody was united because it was one thing, and it was the truth, and it was one thing, there wouldn't be no reason to have all of these beat writers. It just wouldn't be. You would just need one person that's telling you the truth all the time. And unfortunately, as nice as it may sound, you're never going to get that. You're never going to get that. The truth gets buried a lot, believe it or not. Some of these guys can write the truth, and the editors change it. So I'll give them some of the guys the benefit of the doubt on that. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt on that. But still, I personally, I'm tired of listening to the garbage. I'm tired of reading the garbage takes. And I feel like it's time for us to just, like Kendrick say, turn their TV off. Change the channel on some of these dudes, man. Stop listening to some of these guys. You know, like Jason Marshall. He says Zah Frazier, cornerback, 6'3", 185, ran a 4.37, can be a nice steal mid-round for Pete. Yeah, hey, look, there was a lot of guys who draft stock rised from this combine. You know, there was some linemen that ran some good times. You know, there were some linebackers that ran some really decent times too. So, you know, I seen a couple of guys that I was like, hey, that's a good second, third round pick right there. You know, that's a good fifth, sixth round pick right there. You know, that boy out of UCLA. Everybody got him going as like a special teams player. You know what I mean? But I don't know if you strictly stick him to special teams. You know what I mean? When you that fast, when you got speed like that at the linebacker position, you built that. You built that. Hey, J-Dog, yeah, them 10-yard splits, that's what I'm looking at. The rest of that shit don't matter. I'm only looking at them 10-yard splits, and there was 3 or 4 that were close to that elite status. You know, that 172, you know, that 172, that 176. You know, there was a couple of cats close to that, you know. So yeah. Raider Pete says we know without a trade, Hunter and Ward are off the board. If Sanders is also taken, it means best available on defense, and that is my first favorite scenario at 6. It all depends on what position you're addressing on defense at 6. Because I think at 6, if Shedor's not there, Cam is gone, Hunter is gone, I think your best bet is one of these elite linemen coming out this year. There's 5. I think there's 5 elite linemen coming out this year. So I think you take a shot at one of them. But that's my humble opinion, Raider Pete. I'm not saying that yours is wrong, and I can see that. You know what I mean? I really could see that, but it also depends on what position we're talking about. You know what I mean? Are we talking about a corner at 6? You know, are we talking about a linebacker at 6? A D lineman at 6? I mean, if we're talking a D lineman at 6, I'm a pass. I'd rather take an O lineman at 6 or a linebacker or a corner. Those will be my 3 options if Ward, Hunter, or Shedeur are not there. And then that's just being honest, because I feel like this offensive line needs help. You know what I mean? I feel like this offensive line needs that. It needs another piece to pull it all together. You know what I mean? It needs one more piece, man. Just one more piece to bring it all together, man. That's just my thought. That's just my thought. You know, I want a quarterback. I don't care, be it free agency or be it in the draft. I want a quarterback. That is like for sure something I want. And I pass on Russell Wilson, I pass on Aaron Rodgers, and I pass on Sam Darnold. I would take Derek Carr back before I took any one of those 3 quarterbacks. I would take DC back before I took any one of those 3 quarterbacks, man. Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers are locker room killers, bro. They bring the vibe of the locker room down. They bring the vibe of the team down. And I'm good on that, man. I'm good on that. And Sam Darnold is just too much money, and I don't know if he is the quarterback that he displayed last year. I just don't. I can't say that I believe in him. You know, I just cannot tell you that I believe in Sam Darnold. I can't bang the table for him. And for the amount of money that they, proclaim that he's asking for, I can't do it. I can't see it happening, man. I can't see it happening. Especially not with our owner and Tom Brady and Mark Davis. I don't see them paying that astronomical number for a question mark. At the same time, I don't see them bringing in somebody who's going to kill the vibe of the team. Remember, this is a young team, right? If you crush their spirits now, it's going to be very hard to rebuild later. So if you're truly trying to build a winning standard, you're not going to bring in somebody who's going to kill the locker room. You know what I mean? You're not going to get somebody who's going to take the fun out of being in the, playing. You're not. You're just not. Pete Carroll likes to have too much fun at practices. You can see from other players that have played for him. They said Pete Carroll likes to have fun in practice. He does. He loves the game of football. So you cannot bring in somebody who doesn't want to have fun in practice. So, and for me, I don't trust Russell Wilson. I don't care what you tell me. I don't trust him. And I've always been against bringing in Aaron Rodgers. I like to watch him from afar. I don't need him on my team. So, and people gonna be like, "Oh, you a Carr stan? You a Carr stan?" Because I'm not a Carr stan. But what I do understand about the game of football is that Carr is more likable, more relatable, and more coachable than those other players. That's all. If you really look at it, he's more likable, more coachable, more about the team winning than the other players. I just honestly believe that. Russell Wilson needs his own locker room. He needs his own office. What kind of shit is that? You need your own office? For what? If you're going to be conducting business, then you need to go get you an office space just like everybody else. And there's your office for you to do your business in, man. You running your business out of my place for what? You're supposed to be in a team meeting, but you got a meeting in your office about some other shit that ain't even got nothing to do with us. I'm cool on that. I'm super cool on that. You can keep that. You know what I mean? You can definitely keep that. And Raider Pete, no, Rodgers is not worth the money nor the time. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he wants to eliminate players taking business matters to talk shows. Yeah. Hey, you ain't lying. You ain't wrong about that. Pete Carroll don't have time for no divas at this point in time in his career, man. He got 3 years to turn this program into a winning program. And truthfully, he's only got 1.5, maybe 2. At the rate we've been going through head coaches. He only got 1.5, maybe 2 to turn this team into a win. One of the things, we ain't giving no time If it look like shit from the get-go, it's gonna be shit. Gam 110, my guy, what's good with you, man? Blessings. So we gotta stop that. You know what I mean? Gotta stop that. We gotta nip that right there in the bud. We can't have none of that going on here. We need a player that's gonna come in, strap it up, and want to win. Not saying that Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to win. I'm not saying that Russell Wilson doesn't want to win. I'm not calling them losers. What I'm saying is the way they want to go about winning is not conducive to how we want to win and how we want our team to win and how we want our team to be together when they win and how we want the team to be ran. They don't fit the program. Corey Woods, my guy, what's good with you, man? Long time. He said, love him or hate him, we shouldn't have moved off of Carr without a better plan at QB. Jimmy G and Minshew were no better and less leaders than Carr. Hey, I said this, Corey. I said this before we even left Derek, Derek Carr even got boo-bapped up out of here. I said, brace yourself for another carousel of quarterbacks. Because I knew Jimmy G wasn't the answer. I knew for a fact Jimmy G was not the answer. I said it 2 years prior to even getting him, that if you put him on the Raiders, he would be worse than Derek Carr. And he was. You put him on the Raiders, and he was worse than Derek Carr, which goes to prove that Frisco's defense was winning those games, which I was saying at the beginning when everybody's, oh, Jimmy G's a better quarterback. No, he's not. He's got more wins because he's got a better defense, and they can stop somebody, and they can put up some points, right? I was against McDaniels getting hired because I knew he wasn't the guy for this team. He just wasn't. I remember what he did to Detroit, and I remember what he did in Denver. That's not good characteristics of a good man. You know? And that's just being honest. You know what I mean? That's taking the blinders off the racehorse and getting a full broad view. It's like turning your phone from here to here when you take a picture so you can get a better, wider view of everything. That's what some of y'all need to do. You need to turn your brain from here to here so you can get a wider view of what's going on, so you can take it all in. Look, I'm looking right here, right? I'm looking dead at my camera. But I have a screen over here, and I have a screen over here. I can see both of them. I can see both of them perfectly fine because I have my blinders off. I got my peripherals working, right? I could sit here and do this the whole time, blah, 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 but then I don't really see the chat very clearly. I could see it. It's not clear. You know what I mean? It's not very clear, so I have to then do this. And that just looks weird. So I sit like this. That way I can see the screen. Still paying attention to you. Still showing y'all love. Rodgers is a cancer. He scapegoated. McDaniels scapegoated Derek Carr. Yeah, he did. He put all the blame on DC. But I also think DC was like, yeah, I'm not coming back. You might as well go ahead and trade me, bro, because I'm not playing for you. You know what I mean? I'm not playing another down for you. So I think Derek Carr may have pushed his way out too. Like, nah, man, you either change up, bro, or I'm not playing. And they were like, okay, well, you know. And then he's like, and to do you one better, I'm gonna make sure you don't get shit for me. I'm gonna make sure I leave up out of here without you getting any equity from me. Since you wanna play Big Billy Badass, I'm gonna reject the trade to the team that's gonna give you their first round draft picks for me. I'm gonna reject that shit, and then I'm gonna go sign with them a couple of days later when you let me go. That's some gangster shit, bro. If you ask me, that's some gangster ass shit right there. That's some gangster ass shit right there. That's how you do business. You prove your worth. Now, he went to New Orleans and he didn't really do too much. You know what I mean? I can't lie. He didn't do a whole lot. But at the same time, I honestly don't think that New Orleans team was any better than the teams he played on when he was with us. Honestly, if you're asking me the truth, I don't think that New Orleans team was any better than the teams that Derek Carr played on for us. They were riddled with injuries. Don't have a lot of superstar talent left there. Now you put him on Saints right after Drew Brees leaves. You put him on those Saints, he might have a really good career. He might have a Super Bowl, maybe. If you put him on the Jameis Winston Saints, yeah, it's probably a better team. It's definitely probably a better team because Derek Carr is a better quarterback than Jameis Winston. Yeah, they have been in cap hell, but that's because they always overspend for players that don't pan out. They overpay for the Honey Badger. What has he done? They outbidded us for the Honey Badger, and what has he done? They'd have been better off just staying the fuck up out of it and letting us get him for the price that we would have got him at. But no, they wanted to overpay him, and look what happened. Look what happened. Do we even still call him the Honey Badger anymore? See, that's the problem with the Saints. They always want to spend more money than what they got. And they don't see the full picture. They buying people off names. Not understanding that a lot of these people have success due to the coaches that put them in the position to be successful. The Honey Badger was playing in a really good defense in Kansas City. That's why he was succeeding. Then you brought him over to the Saints and you thought that he was going to bring that defense with him. No. Sometimes looking good is a credit to where you're at. Just being honest. Like, there's very few players you could take from a team, put them somewhere else, and they'll still be good. Ed Reed is one of them guys. You know what I mean? Ray Lewis is one of them guys. Deion Sanders was one of those guys. It wasn't a whole lot, but there were some guys. You know what I mean? Like, and I know, you know, people are, well, Ray Lewis never played anywhere else, but it was Ray Lewis. You can't tell me that if Ray didn't play somewhere else, he wouldn't have been Ray Lewis. I mean, it's Ray Lewis. Stop it. Knock it off. Cut it out. Don't even do that to yourself. And then your Ed Reed is Ed Reed, man. Let's be honest. It's Ed Reed. I would say Charles Woodson is one of them players as well. He was good with us. He was good in Green Bay. He came back to us and was good until his final game. See, that's how you're supposed to go out. Supposed to go out still being good. Not at the bottom of the valley of the hill you just came down. That's not how you go out. And that's how Aaron Rodgers is going to end up going out if he don't stop now. He's going to end up going out at the bottom of the valley of the hill he just fell from. And I don't want to see that for him. It's like watching Michael Jordan with the Wizards, bro. It was like watching Michael Jordan with the Wizards. It was just like, oh my God, bro. Give it up. This is not Jordan from the Bulls. Give it up. That's just my honest opinion. See, that's all I'm really here for on YouTube, man. I'm just really here to give you my opinion, how I feel, my assessments. Yeah, I'm not gonna always be right. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna very rarely be wrong. So, you know, but I also validate your opinions as well, even if I may not agree with them. Doesn't mean it doesn't have any validation. Said Anthony Estrada says, I'm not gonna try to jump the gun too early, but after that horrific season last year, I believe we have a great season, probably better than 2016. Yeah, I'm not gonna jump the gun on that either, man. If I'm above 500, I'm happy. Right now, you know what I mean. He said, Loon said, what up, Loon? What's good with you, Brody? Rodgers going out like an old drunk from Brokeback Mountain. Hey, look, I'm just saying. Sometimes you don't want to be Butch and the Sundance Kid, man. Sometimes you don't want to be Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, man. Sometimes you don't want to be surrounded by a firing squad. You know what I mean? Sometimes that's just not how you want to go out. You know, I ain't trying to go out like Queen Latifah and set it off. I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm good. I ain't trying to go out like that. And that's how Aaron Rodgers is going to go out if he keep going the way he's doing, If he keeps going, that's how he's going to go out. He's going to go out like Denzel in Training Day. Going to go out in a horrific death. Horrific death. So, you know, I'm a solid no on Aaron Rodgers. I'm a solid no on Russell Wilson. I'm a solid no on Sam Darnold. If those are my choices, I'll just stick with AOC. I'll put some linemen in front of them. I'll draft me a quarterback at some point in time, and I'll ride with that. I'd rather go with AOC than the three guys I just named. I'd rather go with AOC than Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, or Sam Darnold. So you know I'd take Derek Carr back in a heartbeat. And I think Chip Kelly would take a Derek Carr. He said Justin Tucker been kicking it Deshaun Watson style. A handful of trouble. Hey. I don't want no drama. I don't want no trouble. I don't want no trouble. You know what I mean? We ain't trying to have no troubles. I want what's best for the team. And in all honesty, the only people who can tell us the only people whose opinion that matters when it's what's best for the team is the coaches, the general manager, and the owner. Those are the only opinions that technically matter when they come to feeling like what's best for the team. But I feel like they have a plan. I feel like success has already been put in motion. From the hiring of the new GM and firing of a guy who should not have ever been hired as our GM in the first place. I don't know why Telesco was here. I feel like Telesco should have never been here, should have never been given the job as our general manager. I just feel like no. I don't feel like he deserved it. He didn't do anything in charge of them to prove to me that he was worthy of being our general manager. And yeah, that I call it how I see it. That's all I can do. I can only call it how I see it. But I think Spytek is the right direction. I think Carroll is the right direction. I think Chip Kelly isn't going in the right direction. I think Graham is the right direction. Now we just got to get the drafting right. We got to get the free agency right, and we got to get the drafting right. And if we can do that, if we can knock that out the park, I believe we could be what the Eagles are. I think we could be in a couple of years. I think in 3 or 4 years, we can be what the Eagles are. But that's because the Eagles knock it out the park every year. They sign the right free agents. They draft the right people. They build their team for the long run success. And I think if the Raiders adopt that, if they knock it out the park for the next 3 years, I think they could be what the Eagles are. A team that strikes fear into its opponents when they see it on the schedule. That's what I honestly feel like the Raiders could be if they get it right. So I am in the last closing moments of my show. We are at 53 minutes. That means we have 7 minutes more. Let me start getting into the chat, bring you guys on the screen, and let's answer some of these questions. We started strong enough. Enough is enough. Winning culture, bringing in proven winners, teaching these guys how to win consistently. Yeah, I can live with that. Just came back from there last week, started playing and learning. Damn, gambling is addicting. Ha ha ha. Huh. Vegas, huh? Vikings just offered Sam Darnold 40.2. Hey, look, that would I said this. I honestly said this, and you can go get verified receipts. I said this. It would be stupid for the Vikings to let Sam Darnold go, especially since they don't know what J.J. McCarthy can do. And now they can keep J.J. McCarthy because they have him on a rookie contract. So they can do the same thing that Atlanta did. They could sit him for a while, but you can also think about it this way. By them offering Sam Darnold $40.2 million, is J.J. McCarthy healthy? Is he healthy? Or is that injury? Is that something to worry about? I'm just saying. You're offering your backup quarterback $40.2 million, but you just drafted a quarterback last year that got hurt. So, what is going on with J.J. McCarthy? You may want to stay away from that. Just saying. That's logical thinking. I'm a guy who likes to put puzzles together. If you didn't notice, I mean, all of those right there, all of those are puzzles. Those are all Raider puzzles. That one up there behind the bottle, that's a Raider puzzle. You know what I mean? I got like 4 or 5 more. I like putting puzzles together. You know what I mean? I like solving problems. I like using my brain to figure shit out. I look at football like a puzzle. I look at business like a puzzle. I do my best to figure it out. You know what I mean? Puzzles don't come with instructions. They don't have numbered pieces that go together. You have to figure it out. So yeah. Go figure on that one, huh? What's up with you, James? Blessings to you. Yeah, they do boo DC and NO. They gonna boo DC wherever he go. I mean, it is what it is. He said we got the 3rd best coach in the AFC West. I know he better than Sean Payton. So we actually have the 2nd best coach in the AFC West because Pete Carroll is better than Payton, and he's better than the dude over there with the Chargers. He's better than both of them. He's better than both of them. So, 2nd best. Not 3rd best, 2nd best. And after this year, he might be the best coach in the AFC West. We got to see what Kansas City do. You know what I mean? Once we find out what Kansas City's going to do, you know, or I should call them shit the bowl. When we see shit the bowl, because them niggas shit the Super Bowl. God. It was almost like, why even go? If you was going to perform like that, why even go? Why even represent the AFC if you was going to put up that fucking type of display? Man, you made us look terrible. You made it. Not only did we lose the motherfucking All-Star Weekend, the Pro Bowl, not only did we lose the Pro Bowl, we lost the Super Bowl too. Man. You got the AFC just looking terrible out here. But I was pulling for the Eagles either way it went. So I wanted the NFC to win the motherfucking Super Bowl. I was just hoping we'd have won the Pro Bowl games, but we didn't. It's all right. Not a big deal. Football is chess, where all the pieces move simultaneously. I mean, that's one way of looking at it, I guess. I guess that's one way of looking at it. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, let's see. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas until it gets posted on social media. Right. I would say, yeah, he proved he can win the big game in the big times. Harbaugh always choking those, and Peyton only has one. Yeah, for sure. But, ladies and gentlemen, I am 45 seconds away from the hour. Trying to keep it on pace. You know what I mean? I love y'all to death. As always, man, 50 billion things on the face of the planet you could be doing. The fact that you allowed me to grace your screen for any amount of time is greatly appreciated. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, no matter how much it rains, you can never stop the sun from shining. Raider Nation, YouTube, fuck who hates you, who fucking loves you. Go get your sunshine, man. I'm out. Peace.